Oh, wow. What's up? I went to the Vista City Council meeting last night, and lots of activists there, and wow, the testimonials alone were great, were outstanding. 39 people stood up and gave a speech to the City Council addressing them on the problems that they foresee if Vista does not put in place some kind of dispensary system where everyone can use it and everyone can come together and the businesses can thrive. So I filmed quite a bit of it, so this is going to be a couple of parts, but bear with me. This is what happened.
Good evening, Vistans. I'm presenting the topic of legalized medical marijuana dispensaries in an effort to be proactive with policy making within our city. As you may know, recreational marijuana was recently on the ballot as Prop 64 and was passed by Vista voters with a 57% approval rate. This vote gives us a clear indication that the Vista voters have a favorable opinion on marijuana. As public representatives and elected officials, it is our responsibility to represent the interests of our voters, which sometimes requires compromise. With recreational marijuana being approved by our voters, I can only assume any medical marijuana initiative on the ballot would pass with more favorable numbers. Having all of this information before us and knowing that we need to be proactive for the citizens of Vista, I sit before you this evening proposing safe, reliable access be provided to the residents and patients of Vista. The current Citizens Initiative has gathered over 7,000 signatures, but it does have several guidelines that I feel are bad for our city and citizens. One of which is spending $350,000 of the taxpayers' money on a special election. With the information we have, our citizens clearly feel medical marijuana has become more socially acceptable or tolerable, and I would speculate that any initiative with the medical verbiage would pass with an overwhelming majority. With that said, as elected officials, it is our responsibility to propose a policy change to allow for delivery within our city limits in a reasonable amount of storefront locations based off of the number of prescriptions issued to patients or the total population. The specific number of dispensaries, excise tax, setback parameters from schools and churches will be thoroughly reviewed and researched by our city staff. I move that we as a council direct staff to come up with a proposal prior to the end of April to allow safe, reliable access in the form of delivery and limited storefront access within the city of Vista to be voted on and approved by our council.
Pretty interesting, right? Well, that seems to me that they are really willing to work with the city of Vista and all of the dispensary owners and so forth. I mean, it seems like they want to incept a plan, and it sounds all pretty good. So there was a lot of, as I said before, there was a lot of impassioned speeches and a lot of people giving their testimonials. So I was there and I did some interviews and I did some other stuff. So let's see how some of the people reacted to the council members' acceptance and how they received all of these impassioned pleas for dispensaries in Vista.
He needs to be heard by you guys. He needs to be able to have safe access. Luckily, we were able to find somebody here in Vista, and for the last 2 years, he's had a small amount of seizures. The last 2.5 years, a small amount of seizures, reduced to, a couple of months.
I'm here with Matthew Minke and Kyle Minke, one of the speakers tonight. And what do you feel how well received was your speech?
Well, I've lived in Vista most of my life, so I think it was received well. I see these council members out on the sporting fields and around and pounding the pavement for votes, so I know I went well. I think Vista is going to be a tip of the spear.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your support here tonight. I'm here with Marie Strain, and she was also one of the speakers tonight. Marie, how do you feel everything went?
Well, I think they have an open mind. Hopefully, the council, there should be, I want to propose a Vista Cannabis Council where about at least out of the 7 members, 3 of them at least should be involved in the cannabis movement.
I agree. You should have members on the committee who are informed. Well, that was wonderful, and you gave a great speech.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
So you can definitely see the impassioned support that was there last night, and all the people that came out with the to support the cannabis community in Vista. And wow. And I made some friends, and I met some new friends. Hello to everybody who was there. Thank you for talking to me, for coming out and saying hi. But let me leave you with one last person, and when we come back, we'll roll the credits and say goodnight. With Jimmy from
Complete Botanical Development. We are a company that makes and produces CBD products for patients.
And you were also one of the speakers this evening.
I am one of the speakers this evening. I'm a resident here of Vista and have a lot of friends and family members who benefit from medical cannabis here in Vista. So we're here today to try to ask the City Council to adopt regulations that would benefit the patients here in San Diego and in Vista mainly. Medication is huge.
Right.
If you can't find the consistent medication, your whole program gets thrown off.
It does.
Especially since the other cities have already showed that they're not willing to adopt sensible regulations. They've already banned them and said they don't want to have them.
In San Marcos,
San Marcos,
Oceanside.
Oceanside, you know, the other cities surrounding.
How well received do you think you were this evening?
You know what, I think actually by the looks on the city council's face and even on the mayor, it looked like they received a lot of the patients and a lot of people really well. It looks like they are open. And unfortunately, the raids are still going on. I'm not sure where that comes from, if that's from the city attorney or where it's coming from. But it seems like the city council is really progressively thinking.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And
Pleasure.
thank you for stopping in with me on the SoCal 420 Report.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
So there you have it. That's it. We had a lot of fun, a lot of people. I don't know if this guy ever made it home or not.
Vista is having a council meeting about medical marijuana, and they're having it without you. Come on inside and voice your opinion. Hey, Steve.
I'm just kidding. I know he did. So everybody, don't forget all of our sponsors, and we'll see you in just a few days. Have fun and smoke well.